At exactly 8:17 on a bright Tuesday morning, the billionaire CEO stood in the middle of a glass-walled executive office and laughed while a single father quietly packed his desk. Nobody in the room understood why the man who had spent 3 years working before sunrise, staying late after everyone left, and sacrificing everything for his little daughter was suddenly putting his belongings into a cardboard box. The CEO thought he was finally breaking. What she didn't know was that the single dad wasn't quitting because he was weak. He was leaving because he had finally decided that his daughter deserved a father who could come home with dignity. If you believe kindness can change a person's life and that everyone deserves a second chance, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, leave a comment, and subscribe to Real Dad Story. You never know when one story might remind someone that their hardest chapter is not their ending. The single father's name was Ronan Vale, a 38-year-old maintenance supervisor who worked inside one of the most expensive corporate towers in the city. Every morning, he arrived before the elevators were crowded, carrying a faded brown lunch bag in one hand and a small pink backpack in the other. The backpack belonged to his 8-year-old daughter, Mira, who stayed with him in a modest apartment on the other side of town. Ronan had become her father, mother, homework helper, cook, nurse, and biggest supporter after losing his wife several years earlier. He never talked about that loss at work. He simply showed up, worked hard, and tried to make sure Mira never saw how exhausted he really was. His job was not glamorous. He repaired broken fixtures, checked electrical panels, replaced damaged equipment, cleaned emergency areas, and solved problems before executives even knew they existed. Most employees walked past him without noticing. Ronan didn't mind. He had learned that important work was not always visible. Sometimes it was the person who stayed behind after everyone else had gone home, making sure the building would be safe when morning came. But the company belonged to a woman who believed only results mattered. Her name was Celestine Voss, a 45-year-old billionaire whose face appeared regularly on business magazines and financial news programs. She had built the company from almost nothing and was famous for demanding perfection. Employees respected her, feared her, and rarely disagreed with her. To Celestine, weakness was a choice, and quitting was something successful people simply did not do. Ronan first attracted her attention when a major equipment failure threatened an important investor meeting. While everyone else panicked, Ronan stayed through the night and repaired the system before sunrise. Celestine walked through the building the next morning and saw him sitting alone near the service elevator, drinking cold coffee. For a moment, she admired his determination. But admiration quickly turned into expectation. After that day, every emergency seemed to land on Ronan's shoulders. When another employee called in sick, Ronan covered the shift. When a project fell behind, he stayed late. When the night crew complained about difficult conditions, he stepped in. He never asked for praise. He only asked that his schedule remain predictable because Myra's school closed at 4 in the afternoon and he needed to pick her up. Then one morning, everything changed. Celestine called Ronan into the executive conference room and told him the company was entering a difficult quarter. Several departments were being restructured, and everyone would have to work harder. Ronan listened quietly as she explained that his responsibilities would be increased without additional pay. He tried to explain that he was already working overtime and that his daughter depended on him. Celestine looked at him with a cold expression. She told him that personal problems could not become the company's problems. Ronan lowered his eyes, thanked her for being honest, and returned to work. That afternoon, Mira called him from school. She had been waiting outside because he was late. Ronan rushed across town, still wearing his work uniform, and found her sitting alone on a bench with her little backpack beside her. She didn't complain. She simply smiled when she saw him. That smile nearly broke him. On the way home, Mira told him she had received a certificate for helping another student. Ronan listened proudly while silently calculating whether he could afford groceries, electricity, rent, and Myra's school supplies that month. He had been stretching every dollar for so long that he no longer remembered what it felt like not to worry. The next morning, Ronan arrived at work exhausted. He had barely slept because Mira had been sick during the night. Still, he showed up. He repaired a leaking pipe, fixed a damaged security door, and helped 2 junior workers finish their assignments. By lunchtime, Celestine summoned him again. This time, she accused him of falling behind. Ronan stood silently while she criticized his performance. He wanted to explain everything. He wanted to tell her about the sleepless nights, the medical bills, the school pickups, and the tiny apartment where his daughter was waiting for him every evening. But something inside him had changed. He realized he had been explaining himself to people who had never tried to understand him. Celestine noticed his silence and smiled bitterly. She told him that people like him always talked about giving up but never actually did anything about it. Then, with a mocking tone, she told him that he would never quit because men like him had nowhere else to go. The words landed harder than she expected. Ronan looked at her for several seconds. Then he simply nodded. He returned to his desk, opened the bottom drawer, and pulled out a cardboard box. For the first time, the busy office became quiet. Employees watched as Ronan began packing his belongings. A framed photograph of Mira went into the box first. Then came an old coffee mug, a small notebook filled with repair schedules, and a worn keychain Mira had made for him at school. Someone whispered that he had finally snapped. Celestine stepped out of her office and watched him. She expected an argument. She expected anger. Instead, Ronan calmly